So, this week I'd like to talk about scams. And I'm not talking about any kind of scam in particular, just scams in general, just phone calls, online, people face to face. Just want to talk a bit about scams and what the effect is that they have on people. Because obviously it's such a common thing now. I mean, even if you go online or if you receive text messages or phone calls, it's so common and it's so frequent that you hardly pay attention to it anymore. And I think that's quite a sad situation to be in that it's not something anymore that is up the road. It's not something that is up the road and doesn't really affect you. It's in your house, it's in your phone, it's in your mind to such an extent that you completely blank it out now without even thinking. These scams now are getting so sophisticated, it's amazing. One scam in particular that I will focus in on is a scam that I actually fell victim to recently. Lucky enough for me, they didn't actually get any money from me, but it happened nonetheless. And the only reason that I think I fell for it is because of the medication that I'm on currently. And it does make me just a little bit slow, a bit woozy. Not to an extent that I'll fall over or anything like that, but just sometimes if I'm trying to think of a word, I won't think of it. And if I'm talking to somebody, I can't really concentrate on what's really going on at the moment, which is I find that quite frustrating. But anyway, so I've never fallen victim to a scam before other than this very recent one, and it was unbelievably sophisticated. I couldn't believe, even when I knew it was a scam, really, there was a little part of me thinking that what was promised would actually be carried out. So I'm going to go into detail about this one. So what happened was I received a phone call on my mobile phone from a woman saying that she was part of my network provider, or worked for the network provider, and that they'd realised I was paying too much for my bill. My mobile phone bill is very high. In fact, it's ridiculously high. And that if I wanted to, I could. They were willing to write off the debt, so to speak, for my current phone and renew the contract with a brand new Pixel 7. And I thought, not only that, they wanted to reduce the bills by nearly half price. And I thought, yeah, you know what, I'd like to do that. That sounds good. And in fact, I even put in a couple of videos previously that I would be getting a new Pixel 7. And obviously, I was waiting all day in my house for that phone to arrive yesterday. It didn't come because I then realised it was a scam. So yes, I got on. I had a phone call from a woman saying that she worked for my network provider. She then said, we want to drop your bill, we want to renew your contract, but give you a new phone with that. So, I mean, who wouldn't? Yes, of course, I want to do that. So she said, okay, well, we'll send you through a text message just to confirm it's you. It will come through to your O2 text messaging that you usually get. And I said, yeah, okay, and waited for it. The text message came through, and yeah, I believed it. I thought, okay, well, they are messaging me on a number that I previously have received text messages from my network provider. And so, yeah, I mean, at that point, it has to be them, surely. That's like somebody sending a text message from your phone to a friend, and then your friend receiving that and saying, well, it can't be her. If it's your number, it's your number. But they had access to that, and they sent me a text on it. And obviously, they went through the whole, okay, we're now going to send you a text message with a code. Can you read out the code to us, and blah blah blah. And then it carried on with emails. We're going to send you an email that's your end of contract for the one that you have now. We're going to send you another email for the start of the new contract that will start tomorrow once you receive the Pixel 7. And it all genuinely sounded very, very convincing. It was a very sophisticated scam. And I fell for it. And it wasn't even until, even when I realised that, even when I started to suspect, I actually asked my girlfriend to look into it for me to begin with, because again, I'm a little bit sort of dozy. So she did, and she said, yeah, it's a scam. And even that point, I thought, no, it can't be. They had all the numbers and emails and everything. So anyway, I got duped. Now, lucky enough, I bank with Revolut. If you've not used that before, it's a really good online bank, basically. And you can do anything from the app. You can do everything from the app. So I straight away, just as soon as I realised it was a scam, that was probably about 24 hours later, I blocked my card that I'd given the numbers to, and then deleted it, and then set up a new card and updated that on all of my Google accounts and things like that. I've set that up for NFC payments as well, so I'm not really losing out on anything. They didn't get any money from me or anything like that. So really, it was just it was an awakening, really, just to realise. I quickly realised how sophisticated these scams are getting now, and it's incredible. I genuinely cannot believe that they had access to all that information. I mean, they were giving me how much I pay a month for my phone bill. They were messaging me when I had recently had a late payment, and they knew about everything, and it was just incredible. But I think it's sad that we live in a society or live in a world, because I'm sure this is a worldwide problem, where it's something that you just casually stroll upon a scam every day. Sometimes multiple scams every day. And it makes me wonder if anyone out there is combating this, is fighting this, then they're doing a pretty bad job. Maybe there's not enough people doing that. Now, obviously, I couldn't do that because I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't know how to scam the scammer, so to speak, or hack the scammer. But I'd love to. If that was a job that I'd be able to take on, then I would definitely take that on, because we're at a point where you probably get more scam phone calls these days than you do actual phone calls from friends and family. So you've probably got more of an intimate relationship with scammers now than you do your own family, which is phenomenal to me. But I guess it's just one of those things that we've come to accept in society, and at the moment I can't see any way back for that, because there's far too many scams out there, and there's just not enough happening to prevent them. As far as I can see, online, on mobile phones, and text messaging, it just seems a bit of Wild West kind of situation, where there's no really laws that can protect anyone. There's no holds barred, and more often than not, a lot of these scammers, if you start calling them out on the phone, they do get quite aggressive. And again, they're that ballsy, they're that confident in their ability to get away with it, that they're willing to argue with you, they're willing to tell you lies and say and do anything that will get them that money from you. And up until recently, I would have said there's absolutely no way I will ever fall for a scam. They're all ridiculous. There's no way that I'd be that foolish. And I genuinely believed that anyone that did fall for a scam probably deserved it because they're idiots in my book. But having experienced that, it is something that I'm now rechecking my own knowledge of, because it's something that it's suddenly come flooding back to me, that all the scams that you get throughout the day, and like I said, you just brush them off as if they're nothing, but you got to keep in mind that these scammers wouldn't be up and running unless they were making money from that. So no matter how foolish they are, no matter how obvious they are that they're a scam, there must be people out there that are still falling for this, and they're getting money from these people. Even the unsophisticated scams can generate revenue. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and make it common knowledge and known that I officially have been scammed. They didn't get any money or anything, and I just think it's sad that we live in a society that are willing to put up with these different scams and multiple messages and multiple phone calls daily for no reason that I can see. Just no one's willing to put an end to it, so it will just continue. So be vigilant, and anyone that calls you, texts you, or gets in touch with you online, always double check. My advice would be, if it's a network provider or I don't know, Wi-Fi provider or anything like that, or cable TV, always just say to them that you will have to end the call and you will call your network or your cable provider directly and speak to them about it, rather than just speaking to that one individual about it. That's, I guess, the only advice that I can give on the matter. Again, never thought I'd fall for anything like that, but here we are. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.